Hey, my name is Ryan, and I wanted to tell you a story for this video. Trying to mix things up and kind of talk about the good, the bad, the ugly of life as a vagabond in America. Uh, Along with, but I mean, I have to mix things up and do a little bit of what's going on in the world. But this one's just going to be a story. So people can understand who I am and why I am the way I am and why I do what I do, or have done what I've done and all that. So this is a story that starts in New Orleans, and I'm living in a house with a girlfriend, and my job was, well, it wasn't really a job yet, but I had a room full of mushrooms, psilocybin mushrooms, and I worked at a bar, had a nice bicycle, and it was in need of a little work, but it was in pretty good shape. Had a couple of flat tires, and all of a sudden we broke up. And she drove me to the Louisiana-Texas border. But beforehand, when she told me we were breaking up and she was going to drive me out of there the next day, I took all my mushrooms that were open, and I took everything that I was taking with me, and I laid it all out in the room and spore printed everything that I was going to wear, my backpack, my hat, all my clothes. All my clothes got spore printed with Cubensi spores. And then she dropped me off, and I started riding. I had a mountain bike. I was wearing logging boots, and on a mountain bike with a big rack, and I had the big Jan Expedition saddlebags that were like 40 liters each, stuffed to the rim. I had a trucker's atlas, those big, thick atlases that they sold at truck stops back before the interwebs. I had 100 CDs and a CD book. I had books. Also, it's just stuff you would never carry now with me. But I had a lot of weight, over 100 pounds on that rack that was meant to hold like 60 pounds. And immediately I had tire problems. I had like 4 patches in my patch kit and a hand pump, and those tires just never, there's a ton of pokey things out there. And I would only keep airing my tires for like a half an hour at a time, sometimes not even that. Riding halfway across Texas, I was riding to Austin. And before I even made it to where Texas A&M is, God, I can't even think of the name of the town now. But I was getting close to there, and my rack broke, and I had a ultralight backpack, like a 40-liter backpack, so I had to get rid of half my stuff on the side of the street there, and keep riding, and made it to A&M. I'd had so many flats. So before I make it to A&M, I'm fixing a flat on the side of the road. It was taking forever. I couldn't get air to hold in the tire because I probably had more than, I had a bunch of holes in it. I'm using a roll of duct tape to patch them and trying to get this tire to air up for a couple hours in the middle of nowhere. I was like 5 or 10 miles from a town with like 10 buildings in town. And people kept stopping, asking me if I needed help. And I see this guy coming real slow down this long road straight towards me from the mountains, kicking up a ton of dirt, sandstorm coming out behind him. He's moving real slow. He ends up getting up to me, and he'd been watching the whole time as these cars kept pulling over, asking if I needed help. He gets up to me and he goes, I'm driving a lawnmower? I said, no. He said, DUI? He said, you know why all these people are stopping to help you? I said, no. They're nice? He said, no, they want you gone. But that's fine, I'd rather someone help me to get me further up the road because they want me gone than to leave me there with nothing, without any help. And then continued on, but I mean, I'd stop like when I saw cow fields with a bunch of cow crap in it. I'd ride through the cow field if there was no fences. There's fences on a lot of it in Texas, but a lot of it doesn't have fences. So I was riding through people's fields, shedding spores. I got chased by a couple of little packs of cows and a steer or two. And then ended up making it to Austin, just exhausted, and both my tires were wrapped in duct tape, like just trying to hold air in it, and I was physically exhausted, mentally exhausted. And I get down to there's a triathlon shop downtown, just on the north side of the river there. So they got bike stuff, and I made it to there, and I literally just fell over in front of the bike shop. And this guy one of the workers comes out, "You okay?" And I just reached over and grabbed my tire, just ripped it right off the wheel. And there's like nothing but duct tape. And he's like, "So you need some tubes?" I'm like, "Yeah." And that was my trip to Austin. It worked out great. I mean, I immediately ended up running into the right people. I got brought back to camp in somebody's yard outside their trailer by a guy named Happy Jack, kind of a famous guy in Austin. And if you've ever been to Austin and you had an old guy with two big braids coming down from his beard, and he said, "Happy Day!" That was Happy Jack. He was an old hippie embroiderer. He would do all the embroidery on the jean jackets, had an old style hand pump or foot pump embroidery sewing machine thing. And he was kind of the unofficial mascot of the Kerrville Folk Festival for a while there. A neat guy, though. Rest in peace, Jack. Hope you're happy still. And but that's adventure by bike. Sometimes life throws you a curveball, but you can always try Sporeprint the heck out of it. Have a little adventure along the way. Don't forget to bring patches, and bike bumming's fun, but it's not always easy. Thanks for listening, and I hope you hit all the buttons below. Like, share, subscribe, comment, ask any questions or video suggestions. I'd love to hear them. Thanks for tuning in. God bless.